Germany to send Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine? Reports.
Here's a summary of the article.
Skip to content, skip to main menu, skip to more DW sites. The news also coincides with the Wall Street Journal reporting that the U.S. would consider sending some comparable M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. One reason Germany had given for its reticence was not wanting to be seen as going it alone within NATO. Britain is also sending comparable Challenger battle tanks to Ukraine, and France is said to be considering a similar step. Germany's approach to sending weaponry to Ukraine has come up for criticism among some allies since the war in Ukraine broke out. Similar debates took place first over sending items to Ukraine that were potentially lethal, and then over an array of other military equipment, from ground to air defense systems to armored vehicles like the Marder personnel carriers, among other things. Ukraine and several of Germany's NATO allies have called on Berlin to act faster at times. In Berlin on Tuesday, NATO's Stoltenberg sought to focus on those deliveries that had materialized, saying that German weapons were saving lives every day in Ukraine.
This post received a score of 32,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
O Tank of the Lake, what is your wisdom?
Panzer of the Lake turned out to be somewhere in Hungary IIRC. Nearby at least.
How many is a company?
According to German media, it's a company. 14 tanks.
Same as Poland then. Poland will send their 30 to 40-year-old 2A4s instead of their modernized ones though. The German ones are 2A6s, which is the version built in the 2000s.
The A6 have the newer L-55 gun. Massive firepower upgrade plus new optics.
Normally, if it's old but it works wonderfully, you tend to keep the same model. This does not include weaponry. You always want to shoot the shiny new gun when the opportunity presents itself.
Hey, tank guys, I'm tech, but not up on military. What's the significance of the Leopards?
They're much more up to date than the bulk of the tanks Ukraine has been using. The bulk of Ukrainian tanks has been the T-72 produced in the 70s. The Leopard 2A4 is from the late 80s and the 2A6 designed and built in the 2000s. That's the simplest way to put it.
German media outlets are reporting that the U.S. might send Abrams as well, along with MTBs from other nations. If so, Scholz got what he wanted.
So you're telling me that since Russia won't be holding their own tank biathlon this year, that Ukraine will be holding them instead, with the Challengers, Leopards, and Abrams all competing? Would be pretty cool at the end of this for Ukraine to parade all the equipment they received. It'd be a pretty interesting collection of tanks alone.
Annual parade of all the countries that helped, finished with the brave people of Ukraine. Would be nice memory.
Don't forget about the Ukrainian Agricultural Brigade, pulling several generations of Russian war machinery.
Well, that about seals the deal for Russia being totally fucked. Yeah, it's just 14 tanks, but that's not the big news. It's that this opens the flood dams for everyone. Just like how everyone was trepid to even send artillery at the start, whilst now everyone is sending tons of it. This basically leaves very few things of the table for Ukraine. And modern tanks versus non-modern tanks is a nightmare for the non-modern, more so than any other field of equipment bar airplanes.
Artillery quickly went from a few pieces to a goddamn competition.
Everyone in the arms business wants to real-world test their wares.
Except Russia, for some reason.
Russia. We have a hypersonic cruise missile that can destroy the decadent West without warning. Don't test us. No, you can't see it. No, it didn't blow up, that's just propaganda. The US want to see our new hybrid turbojet, ramjet switch modes in a wind tunnel. Edit. Volume warning.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.